I think I've chosen a side. Trying to survive away from the homestead. It's not easy if you're used to a certain way of life, but then you have to take a break for a bit from that kind of life. I don't think the fish understand the importance of staying in water until they're taken out of water. So this puts everything into perspective. I thought I'd leave the homestead and spontaneously adjust to this kind of life. It's for a short while, but it's draining every bit from me. Everything seems strange. So much respect to people that live in cities, live in towns, for everything has to be done a certain kind of way. You cannot choose to not do certain things, or you cannot choose to find alternatives to certain things. That is the harsh reality. And that's the respect I have for you guys. In this neighborhood that I am in currently, from 7 to maybe 4 p.m. That is 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Things seem quiet. Like, you can only hear the sound of cars, the sound of planes, the sound of motorcycles, birds occasionally. But the element of humans, the element of people is not there. You can't hear crickets, no. Just listen. It's just flat. That's intriguing. I remember the time when it was the case for me, but I don't want to remember the time after this incident. I don't want to get familiar to this kind of sound. Places like these are artificial backgrounds where people have voluntarily chosen to push away nature, that have chosen to live in a sense of prison, I should say. Prison meaning you have a home, you have a house that you rent or you own, but every morning you have to leave that home, go to work for however hours you have to go to work for. Then later on in the day, you come back to your home, tired, exhausted, pissed off, depending on how your day went. The easiest thing to do is go hang out with friends, maybe have a drink or two, and later come back at night. If you have a family, most of them will be sleeping. If you don't have a family, you're facing the house alone. Then the cycle begins again tomorrow. Oh, what a way to live. I remember this exact formula, this exact routine in my own life. And I've also come to notice, this might not be true, but this is based on my analysis. The more people acclimate to city life, the more selfish we become, the more individualistic we tend to be. then when you think about people in villages, people that are not connected so much to the virtual social world, they're welcoming. They're, you might think they're backward because of how they appear, how they look like, but their hearts are more connected to their environment than living in a city, owning an apartment, owning a building in a city. That makes you want what you want what you have. Your space is like a bunker where you won't accept external forces to pour in. In this, I mean, you might not even know your neighbor. You might not even know the people that live on the same floor as you do in your neighborhood, because you live in an apartment off the ground, in the air. So you create this virtual social community that you share everything you share on there, but your true identity, none of these people that you share your life with really understand or really know. It's like we value our virtual security than we do our physical. You smile to the camera, you share, but then when you step out of your house, your air, you put on a face that shows, leave me alone, don't bother me, I'll go into my car, I'll drive to work, smile at work, as long as I'm going to go back at home and share what I had through the day. What a way to live. I think that's what the society we live in right now is affirming, is putting down into our souls. You're only sharing to people you can never meet, sharing with people you can't call if you have a problem. Because most of the people that are interested in what you do live so far away from where you live from. That's kind of how I see it. What a way to live. We might think about this in every way that we want to think about it. But trust me, people that are able, that have the means to rent a house in most cities have the power to buy or to own property or land outside those cities, given how much they spend in the cities. Water, electricity, Wi-Fi, fuel, food, you can name it. It's not that people have forgotten where we came from. By where we come from, I mean our families before this happened. They have not forgotten. And that's why their souls yearn to meet up during holidays, public holidays, which holidays did not exist in our culture before. So it's an entire new world where we have been given a rule book, a guideline, that we have to follow. So people are capable of going back to the land with what they earn in cities. But the guideline shows you that the more you get in the city, the more likely you make it in the city. But it doesn't tell you that you're only able to live in the city the way you are in a time bracket where you can give back your youth to the city or to that kind of life. Being able to sustain yourself in these cities is your own currency for you to be in those cities. And after your currency has been devalued enough, the city automatically kicks you out because you're no longer a competitor. You're no longer adding to that kind of environment. The city or that life has sucked out most of who you are and has left you with so much money in the bank, but has taken away the ability to enjoy the little that you would have outside the city. I'm not against city life. I'm not against the modern way of living. The fact is that the modern way of living is the engine, but the fuel, the lubrication, the seals, the pistons that run the engine are youth. By youth, I don't mean the people, the young people, no, I mean your years, when you need to be running your own engine. That's what I'm talking about. You can only offer so much, and there's a window between when you start giving and when you stop giving in terms of strength, your personal strength, your personal energy, your young years, your able years, when you can decide and do, when you can make a decision and act upon it, when your spirit can think and your body can act upon it. Because a time comes when your body really wants to, and your mind is fully determined to, but your body cannot give, cannot respond according to how your mind is giving. So it's true, the mind never stops giving, because you don't stop being inspired just because you grow to a certain time. Yes, you lose it slightly, but the brain keeps giving you ideas. And in most cases, when you're having these ideas, you have the power to do something, to experiment, to play around with things, only between a certain time in your life. So when you don't do that and keep saying, I'll do it after I retire, I'll do it when I go back to the land. But when is that time? Ideas come at the time when they are supposed to be executed. And you're not unique. You're not unique when you think about something. So many other minds are thinking about it. So many other people are going through what you're going through. Then after a certain time, you see what you thought about and someone has done. And then automatically, your body or your mind tells you you're a failure you had a time, you had a chance, you didn't do it. So that's the kind of youth I'm talking about. That's why magazines don't have old people on their covers. Yes, they're trying to put old people on them, but we know you won't see any Olympians that are above a certain age, because with everything you achieve, there's a youngster that is trying to beat your record. So at a certain time, you're pushed out. Look at football, look at soccer, look at name it, gymnasts, skydivers. Look at all the Red Bull sports events. There's a bracket of people that are able to do that. So what a way to live. I think I've chosen a side. I've chosen a side that resents city life. I've chosen a life that wants to be able to tap into the things that the world gives freely, in quotes, honestly, because there's nothing entirely free, but there are things we can do that seem free to us, like the sound of birds in the morning, the sunset that is uninterrupted by planes, by drones, the water that falls from the sky, and I have no permit to use it. I want to be able to enjoy those kind of things. City life is not bad, but city life is a constant. As a human being, we are born, we grow, then we pass on. So city life will always be there because it keeps bringing in newer souls, young energy that are going to compete for what you have. So I think I've chosen a side to live the way I live. My name is Peter from that post Homestead. Bye.